Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Share Your Spark podcast. This is Drago Santosha, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the delusion of being delusional and why it's one of the biggest myths in manifestation and quantum creation. And also, we're going to teach you about the 5-step technique that will help us actually solve any current challenge that you might have, and also help you create the reality that your soul is calling you towards. So stick around till the end. So let's talk about one of the paradigms that many teachers speak about in this field of manifestation, quantum creation, quantum jumping, that you have to be delusional to the current reality in order to create the reality that you actually want. And there is some truth to it, in the sense that the current reality is not um, uh, real, in the sense that it's just a creation of our thoughts, emotions, of what we broadcasted in the past, right? But it's a reflection of our internal being, right? The world that we see outside is not real. It is just a projection from our consciousness, through our filters. It is reflected outside. So in this regard, we don't have to put and get feedback from the current circumstances that we're living in, because they reflect the past, how we used to think, feel, and so on. But what happens is that it creates a loop, right? We used to think in a certain way, have a certain identity, right? Broadcast a certain vibration, and then create some results, circumstances in the physical reality. And that we take it for granted. We think this is real, and then we continue the loop, right? Reinforcing the old beliefs, the old conditioning, and so on. So we have to, in order to change our circumstances, we need to interrupt this pattern, right? To interrupt this loop. So it's a wise thing to do, not to give power to the current reality, to the circumstances, right? So in a sense, it makes sense to be a little bit delusional, but not in the sense that is being taught in many places, meaning reject the current reality, don't accept it, and just switch to a different timeline, different frequency, the identity that it's better, right? What you want to manifest, materialize into the physical reality, which actually might work, but what happens is that it rejects the current reality, and that means it rejects a part of ourselves, right? Because a part of us is actually creating that reality that we don't want, the results, the circumstances in the physical world. So we're pushing it further away, right? And what you resist, it persists. So even if we force ourselves to think the proper, right, like use the law of attraction and so on, feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled and so on, right, we might attract some desired reality, but it will never actually work, because we're running away from a part of ourselves that we reject, that we keep in the shadow. So we'll have to continue even further to, so where do we run? Where do we go when we do this? When we try to escape the current reality, the present moment, we're actually going further and further into the mind. So this is the biggest trap actually in manifestation, in quantum creation, that we create in the matrix, in the mind. It might work, but it's not real. It's not bringing us to our true essence, to who we truly are. So what is the alternative? The alternative is to stay present with the current reality, don't reject it. And it's actually the first step in the 5-step technique that I wanted to share with you from the beginning. So we stay with the current reality, and there are 3 steps in this first step. First of all, withdraw attention, energy from it. right? So we don't ignore it, we don't suppress it, we don't push it back, but we don't try to solve it. And this is the hardest thing for the mind, because our mind is conditioned to solve problems. When we have a challenge, we try to do whatever it takes to solve it, right? But what happens, and we'll see in a bit, that what it comes from, it's actually from a feeling of uncomfortableness in our heart, where all this tension comes from. I give you a very short example. When a few years ago, when we were building the meditation retreat, from actually where I'm filming this video, and there were coming the constructors in early in the morning, I would open for them. Then I went to go to finish my spiritual practice in meditation, and I hear them knocking at the door, running or calling me on the phone. I heard it vibrating, and that part of me was, what is happening? I need to solve this. But I chose to finish my practice, to stay calm, present. And what happened was that even if I stayed with this impulse not to hurry, not to resolve what is happening, I finished my practice. I went after that to speak with them. So what happened? Oh, nothing. It's solved. So usually what happens actually in the physical reality, most of the things that we try to solve, they come from inner restlessness. Something gets agitated in our heart and we want to solve it. And we think we need to solve it in the outside world. But actually, if we solve it in the inner world, in the outside world, it's being resolved by itself. Does it make sense to you? So this is what we do actually in the first step. We withdraw the attention from the physical world, from that tendency to try to solve it. Even if it's uncomfortable, our mind is wondering, but how will I do it? How will I solve this? Just relax. Come back to the body. Take a deep breath in, relax. Just withdraw the attention within. Come into the middle line, the vertical tube, where is the center of your being. And then the second step is, so first it's free the world, the outside world, right? Because we know we're never going to find actually the solutions in the physical, in the outside world. And this is the reason why the mind is agitated all the time, because it's trying to figure things out. How are we going to do? So if we take the attention out, within from the outside world, then the mind can relax. So the second step is free the mind. Mind can relax. We say it. You invite the world. You can take a break now. 5 minutes. There's nothing to do in this moment. And then the third step, it's fill the heart, and we stay and we observe what is actually happening. What are we feeling? What are the emotions in the body? What is the uncomfortableness? And the more we stay with that agitation, whatever it might be, and we stay with presence, with love, we observe that it's being alchemized, it's being transformed. So this is the way that actually we withdraw, we let the current reality dissolve in a way without needing to solve it in the outside world. Because this is never-ending loop. It will never end if we try to do it like this, right? So then these 3 steps are actually the first step in the 5-step method that I shared with you. This is how we withdraw from the current reality, but not by rejecting it, but by going to the root cause. The root cause is in our heart, right? Then the second step, we come into the quantum field of all possibilities, into silence, into presence. We cannot go into presence without first attending to our hearts, because the mind will never settle. We'll try to always to find solutions. So we open to the field of all possibilities. We expand our awareness to the quantum field, connecting to our higher self, if we want to call it like this. And in this field, we choose the third step. From all possibilities, we choose the possibility, the reality that is most aligned with our soul, with our heart, where the challenge that we had initially in the current reality doesn't even exist, right? If it's money, In this reality, like lack, in this reality, it's abundance, infinite resources. So we connect with this reality. If it's where we don't have clarity in the beginning, the challenge in this reality, we are aligned, we have clarity, we have guidance, and so on. So we align with this. And fourth step, it's we anchor this vibration into our body. So we code our energy body with this higher frequency, right? And also we ask the fifth step, it's ask for guidance from our higher self, from this frequency. We receive intuitive guidance. What is my next step? Right? How do I anchor this frequency? How do I put it into practice? So we ask and we take aligned action. This is how we actually embody this frequency, and it will put you in a totally different way of being, of functioning in the world, not from needing to solve something or from lack, but from pure alignment when we are complete. So when we connect actually to the quantum field, we feel completeness, we feel love, we feel abundance. So that we express in the world from this gratitude. So what we emit and what we broadcast and how we take action from, it's from this energy, from this frequency, and this is what is being broadcast and what is being received back to us. Does it make sense? I know it might seem a little theoretical, but we'll do a video while I guide you through in a guided meditation through all these steps. So stick around, and I'm sure it will make much more sense. But I hope this video brought you some value and made you realize like it was a pattern interrupt of how we are accustomed to solve things and how we usually move away from from reality, from what is real, from what is here and now. So when we do that, this is the biggest trap in not only in quantum creation, in spirituality, in life, that we get so much more disconnected from our true self. And this is the whole mission with this project. We Share Your Spark is actually aligning more and more with who we truly are, to our essence, connect with our heart's calling, and then bring that into reality, into physical form. Because this is the path of the most fulfillment, joy, abundance, where everything fits into the proper place, right? We don't have to struggle so much to force things. We just surrender and allow life to flow through us. So I hope it was useful for you. Looking forward to our next interaction. Have a good day.